Welcome back to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're glad you're listening today. We want to let you know, remind you that we are going to be live at the Minnesota State Fair coming up at the end of this month. Boy, you can tell the summer has flown by when you start talking about the State Fair.
Yeah.
I've even seen other ads on TV now, too, talking about the State Fair. And we're going to be there for not one, but two special editions of Where You Live with Gene and Tony live shows. I think it's out on Machinery Hill where the station's setup is, and that'll be from 10 till noon, live both on Sunday, August 28th, and Sunday, September 4th. We'd love to have a lot of our listeners there to say hi. We've got some free gifts for you just for showing up, so please attend. And then we also are going to be giving away thousands of dollars worth of just good stuff for showing up. We're going to have some special contests of skill and knowledge.
All right.
Let me give a little ensample here. We're going to have something that's called the Extreme Hour.
All right.
And that's all
Extreme Hour.
And that's all I'm going to tell you about.
It's going to be extreme.
That's right. It's going to be extreme. That's right. Only here on the Metrodome, Dome, live. And so you have the Extreme Hour, and also, do you think you're smarter than a property manager?
Hey, that's an easy question.
Yes, it won't be Jeff Foxworthy who will be there, but we will be asking some questions.
Right.
Do you think
you're smarter?
You're smarter than a property manager.
Okay.
So you want to show up. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. And if you can't make it, call in because you'll be able to win these great prizes as well.
Good deal.
But let's talk about this story that's coming out of California from Anaheim. There's a condominium complex that has free speech at the center of this debate. Tony, do you want to tell our listeners about this?
Brookhurst Village, an Anaheim condominium complex, was at the center of an unusual free speech case last week. Some may find the ruling equally unusual. Incumbent Brookhurst Village Homeowners Association Board Director Mohammed Alam campaigned for re-election at a September 2009 meeting. Former Brookhurst Board President Veronica Cabrera, though no longer a resident, was at this meeting to campaign for a slate of candidates other than Mohammed Alam. During the meeting, Cabrera accused Alam of being a, quote, dictator, adding that board funds went missing during his tenure. Alam then rose to ask what happened to a $100 rebate that Cabrera had promised while she was president. Cabrera subsequently sued Alam for slander, and the case eventually wound up before the State Appeals Court in Santa Ana, which found last week that free speech protections extend to elections for governing boards of condo associations. The panel added that no evidence was presented that Alam knowingly presented a falsehood, seeing as how the missing rebates question was never resolved. In other words, all indications were Alam believed he was telling the truth, and he only rose to defend himself amid Cabrera's accusations. If Alam and Cabrera were private citizens arguing over a business deal in which Alam knowingly accused her of a theft she did not pull off, Cabrera may have had a case. But the appeals court piggybacked on a 2000 California Supreme Court decision that held planned development units are a, quote, little democratic society, unquote, whose governing bodies are regulated by the same kinds of open meeting laws as public agencies. For many Californians, the High Court noted, the Homeowners Association functions as a second municipal government.
Wow. I find this fascinating on so many different levels.
Tell us about some of that fascination.
The first thing I've got to comment about something that doesn't get into the free speech here, but it was a little fact that was just tossed in there that some people may have missed, and that is the idea that Ms. Cabrera is no longer a homeowner in the association.
And yet, she was at the 2009 election meeting to campaign for candidates to this homeowners association board.
Don't you find that fascinating,
That
Tony?
is a little interesting, and they don't ever explain how the heck she even had a voice at this meeting.
Now, it could be that if she was a former owner and she knows a lot of people and she was formerly on the board, she knows people, it could be that a homeowner said, Veronica, I can't make it to the meeting.
Right.
Can I give my proxy to you? And I know that you feel the same way about this Alam character, and so let's not get him elected. Now, if that's the case, she has the right to be there because she's under the proxy of a homeowner.
Let me add something. If that's the case, and the governing documents allow for that type of proxy, sometimes the documents say you can only give your proxy to another member.
Yes.
Okay.
But it would have to
specify
specify
So your documents would have to support this. So that would be the only way she was there legitimately.
Yes. But so to give the benefit of the doubt,
we'll say she had a proxy.
She had the proxy there.
All right.
If she didn't, it would, to me, it would, what is fascinating would be the idea that the board and other homeowners don't really understand how their association is organized and how it should be run.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why meetings take so dang gone long and go on is because people don't realize what you're dealing with. And, if you have an agenda for a reason.
That's right.
To stay on point with the agenda,
and
to go through it.
Membership carries privileges
that
non-members do not have.
Exactly. And so if more people just followed those basic rules, I think you would have meetings that wouldn't be these marathon sessions.
That's right.
Don't you think?
That's right. Back to the Roberts Rules of Order thing. That also helps keep meetings flowing, keep meetings concise, and keep meetings productive, instead of just rambling marathons.
Mm-hmm. But like you said, we're going to just make it a given that Cabrera the benefit of the doubt that she got there because of a proxy, and
so she was
she's
allowed to speak. Okay,
yes.
All right.
And so here she is speaking.
And what is she saying?
She's accused him of being a dictator
and accused him really of embezzlement by saying funds were missing during his tenure.
And let's just talk about that for a moment.
Or maybe not embezzlement, maybe neglect.
Yeah.
All right.
It is really insidious just to get to a point of just labeling someone in a manner where other people have no context. Because that is. That to me is being libelous. Or I guess wouldn't be libelous. It would be that would be slander. Slander deals with more of the spoken word, where libel's dealing with more of the written, produced word or reproduction of that thought.
Okay.
So it would be slanderous for her to do that
because she's taking something out of context, or she's omitting important facts that stage the framework of the issue.
Mm-hmm. And so I just think anytime that someone talks that way, I think they lose credibility in my mind.
Yeah, they do. Me too.
And I know they do, some people, but unfortunately, there are a number of people that don't. They just listen because human nature being what it is, people like these salacious, juicy, gossipy stories.
Yeah,
and they want
scandal.
Exactly, and they want to hear more.
She said this to him, and then she turns around and sues him for slander because he reciprocates. Did he kind of? It sounds like he reciprocated in kind.
Yes, and let's take a look at that, shall we? I mean, what is it that he actually said? Is it? Let's see, where is it here?
He said, "What happened to $100 rebate that Cabrera promised while she was president?" He asked, "What happened to it?" Okay,
now she calls him a dictator, and she refers to board funds being missing. He just says, you made a promise to me, but that you didn't follow through on.
Right.
Let's just weigh these two, can we?
He comes across as much more reasonable than she.
He is, this is someone who is weighted and a little bit more thoughtful with their response. Is this the the act or nature of someone who is being slanderous, yet who is the person
pointing the finger
and who causes the slander to take place?
Yeah.
It was her.
That's right. But she sues him.
Yeah. It's amazing. I want to go through this a little bit more, but by looking at the clock here, we've got to take a quick break. Let's do that when we come back. We've got one more segment in wrapping up the show today when we talk about this whole issue of free speech or slander at this Anaheim condominium complex. What's going on here? What do you think? We'd love to hear from you. Call us on our hotline, 952-224-2668, and we will get back to you on your comments, too. But let's take a break. We'll be back after this.